It was the night of September 26, 1983. In a secret Soviet bunker outside Moscow, one man sat alone in front of a glowing radar screen, unaware that the next few minutes would decide the fate of the entire world. His name was Stanislav Petrov, a lieutenant colonel in the Soviet Air Defense Forces. And that night, he saved humanity from nuclear annihilation. It was the height of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union stood on the edge of mutual destruction. Missiles were armed. Commanders were tense. One false alarm could trigger the end of civilization. Petrov's job was to monitor the Soviet early warning system, a massive satellite network called OKO, the Eye. It was designed to detect incoming American nuclear missiles and give the Soviet Union just enough time to retaliate. At exactly 12:15 a.m., the calm of the bunker shattered. Sirens screamed. Red lights flashed. On the screen in front of Petrov appeared a chilling message. Missile launch detected, United States. The room erupted into chaos. Operators shouted. The alarm repeated itself again and again. One missile, then 2, 3, 4, 5. The computer was certain. America had launched a nuclear attack. Protocol was clear. Petrov had to report the alert to his superiors, who would immediately order a counterstrike. Thousands of nuclear warheads would fly across the world within minutes. If he confirmed the warning, there would be no turning back. The world would burn. Petrov's hands trembled. He had less than 5 minutes to decide. If the alert was real and he ignored it, his country would be destroyed. If it was false and he reported it, billions could die in a nuclear war. He stared at the screen. His training told him to obey the system, but his instincts whispered something else. Why only 5 missiles? A real American strike would involve hundreds. It didn't make sense. He looked again at the data. The readings were too clean, too perfect, almost artificial. He made a choice. Against all military protocol, Petrov picked up the phone and calmly said, "This is a false alarm." The room fell silent. Seconds passed, then minutes. No missiles appeared on radar, no explosions. The Earth remained still. The satellite had been wrong. Sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds had fooled the sensors. Stanislav Petrov had just prevented World War III, simply by trusting his judgment over a machine. But he was never praised for it. Instead of being celebrated as a hero, he was reprimanded for not following procedure. The Soviet government buried the incident in secrecy. For years, no one outside that bunker knew how close the world had come to destruction. Petrov quietly retired and lived a modest life in a small apartment near Moscow. He never sought fame or money. When asked about that night, he said only, "I was just doing my job, the right way." In 1998, the story finally surfaced. The world learned that one man's hesitation had saved billions of lives. Documentaries were made. Awards were given. But Petrov remained humble until the end. He died in 2017, almost forgotten, but his decision echoes through history. Because on that night in 1983, while the world slept, one man refused to let fear or duty dictate his choice. He trusted reason. He trusted humanity. And in doing so, Stanislav Petrov saved the world. Sometimes the bravest act is doing nothing.